You know what has absolutely sucked? This year has absolutely sucked for everyone I know, whether you are a small business owner or just a person with lungs. This has not been a good year. And one of my good friends happens to run a coffee shop called Chaffee's that I never shut up about, mostly because I met my husband there and also because their matcha is fantastic. And Shelly has mentioned in the past that she would like to have nice brown aprons, kind of like a uniform for everyone to wear, also to protect their clothes because they just can't wear most of their clothes to Chaffee's. They wind up wearing the same outfits just because they're okay with it getting potentially coffee or something spilled on it. So I figured, I've got two hands, I've got a sewing machine, I can just make her dreams come true. Also, I'm really bored and really just wanted to do something that would make people happy because everything is on fire. Also, halfway through this project, I learned how to make printable PDF patterns. So if you would like to make an apron as well, feel free. I have got that down below in the description box for you. I also have a more comprehensive, step-by-step tutorial attached to that. So I fully recognize that this is mostly a vlog style sew with me thing. And for view B of the pattern, because there's 2 views, so fancy, I will be doing a video tutorial for that, but that is gonna take a little while because I've got a lot of things on the back burner. But all of that aside, let's just jump straight in, get started, get sewing, yay. I went to Zink's, the Amish fabric shop, and picked up 4 yards of this dreamy fabric, also this whole bolt of lace trim for $5. No joke, this is the best purchase I have ever made. To get my pattern, I mostly freehanded it. I made this apron a while back for a show I costumed, and I really like the shape of it, but I do have some construction things I wanted to tweak. First, I cut my bottom skirt panel. I wanted this to be nice and wide so that the clothing of the people mixing up drinks would be sure to be protected. And to draft the top, I took the basic size and shape of the original apron, but removed the scoop so I would have a slightly more utilitarian look. Then I cut out the side pockets because every practical garment needs pockets. I figured I would put 2 in each side because this would be the most subtle way to sneak them on, but there's a million ways to add patch pockets. Now I had all my pieces and it was time to put them together. I folded each piece in half and marked the center point with chalk. Then I lined up the center points of my waistband and of my skirt panel and pinned those together. After stitching those together with a straight stitch, I lined up my bodice panel and the waistband. I repeated those construction steps for my lining, and after all of that was over, I had 2 apron-shaped shapes. Next, I trimmed my pattern piece for number 9 so that I didn't have the seam allowances on it, and I used that as an ironing guide. And once I had folded my ironed piece in half, it was ready to top stitch. I chose to sew along the open edge of my strap first because this was a construction seam and then I would do the decorative side afterwards. Top stitching in this case is 1 part decorative and 1 part practical, keeping the raw edges folded under. Once my straps were finished, I set them aside and grabbed my pocket pieces. I hemmed the top free edge of the pocket, and then I folded in my straight vertical edge by 5/8 of an inch and ironed it really well. Next, I lined up my patch pocket where I wanted it and opened it up to expose the crease that I had just made. I pinned along this crease and then stitched down also along the crease. Then I ironed my pocket back over. Before continuing, I took my straps over and I pinned them to the top of this curve just at the point where it started to go flat, and then I basted them in place. Later, my construction stitches and top stitching would really solidly hold them down, so I wasn't really worried about, doing an X'd box or anything. Then after another good ironing, I was ready to continue. Next, I took my lining panel and lined it up right sides together with my self panel. I pinned the most important sections first, such as the horizontal seams to ensure they lined up nicely, and the top edge of the side pockets to ensure it gets stitched down correctly. I was also careful to leave an inch or so gap at the bottom of the apron. This is so that after the apron is stitched up, I would be able to turn it right sides out. Once the whole thing was pinned, I took it to the sewing machine and sewed 5/8 of an inch from the edge there. Before turning it right side out, I clipped the curves, the inward corners, and the outward corners so that it lays nicely once turned right side out. Then with my handy dandy chopstick, I went in through the hole I left and I ran my chopstick along all the seams to push them out. I paid special attention to the corner that needed to be pushed out, and then I ironed it again. Next, I took my apron over to my machine and I did a line of top stitching along each section of the apron. And as far as the apron goes, that's all that I did, but I also wanted to make some cute little name tags, so I put on my thinking cap and I ran to Walmart and I picked up these little wood circles and I drilled a hole in them so that I could later stitch them to the cute little bow I was going to make. I also got jumbo safety pins so that that bow could actually be a little brooch. I took my pattern pieces that I had already drafted and I cut out the bow base and the bow ribbon. I also cut out interfacing for the bow base and I cut this not on the fold with the 3 edges that would be sewn trimmed back 5/8 of an inch. This was to prevent bulky seams. Then I sewed the bow, leaving a gap to turn it right sides out, and then I clipped the corners so that it would all lay nicely once it was turned right side out. After pressing it really well, I decided to add some decorative lace. I folded my bow placket in half and I pressed a crease into it. Then I cut 2 pieces of lace that were roughly an inch longer on each side. I lined this up on my bow placket while leaving a gap about a centimeter wide along the crease. This made my lace look longer when the bow was finished. Next, I moved on to the ribbon. I folded my pattern piece lengthwise and ironed it well. Then I took this over to my sewing machine and stitched 5/8 of an inch away from the edge. Then I took a little straw and my chopstick to turn the tube right side out. Then I pressed my tube so that the seam was in the back. Then I set my ribbon aside and I scrunched up the bow base, and I stuck the needle through the center of the scrunched bow. Then I did a securing stitch and wrapped the thread around the scrunch twice, and then I did another securing stitch. Next I took my ribbon and I folded in the edge and stitched it to the back of my bow. Then I slid a safety pin onto my ribbon and wrapped my ribbon around my bow, and then I secured the safety pin to the bow and the ribbon with stitches. Then I got rid of my excess ribbon and I fray guarded the free edge. Next, I took my wooden tag and I stitched through the hole that I drilled in. This secured my tag to my bow. And once all of this was done, I had a cute little name tag. And now that I had them all rolled up nicely and finished, it was just time to put them in a cute little bag and drive with my sister-in-law to Chaffee's. This was the most fun that I've had all year, honestly. Shelly says that she loved them and Kirsten loved them too, and she was even nice enough to model them for me. She said that she's really glad that she and the girls can wear nice clothes to work now, which honestly made my day because that was my goal with this whole thing. And somehow I even found time to make a manly looking one for Bobby as well. Not to sound, like a braggart or anything, but I did make it onto Chaffee's Instagram page. I'm a real celebrity now, guys. This project was so fun for me, and I am so happy that I got to do something that actually, made Shelly this happy and made Kirsten this happy. And people keep talking about them, mostly because I live in a tiny town and there's nothing else to talk about. Hi, people. Oh, hey, my husband's home. Hi, Bobby. It was so much fun to do something that I knew would serve a purpose and be used every day. That's the part that I really love, is just that they're going to use these every day. So I feel pretty good about that. Like I said before, the pattern is in the description box below, so feel free to snag that for yourself and make yourself an apron, or a friend an apron. It'd be a very nice Christmas gift. Maybe a stocking stuffer if you're determined enough to really get it in there. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you stay safe, and I see you in the next one.